Angel Reese does not belong in this league. Angel Reese, this league is a paycheck for Angel Reese.
Do you recall the chorus of WNBA analysts who boldly asserted that Angel Reese had surpassed Caitlin Clark? A mere 8 minutes on the court yielded just 4 points and 3 turnovers, a statistical reflection that speaks volumes. Last night's performance in a league of unparalleled competition may stand as the clearest indication yet of the widening chasm between social media-driven narratives and tangible on-court excellence. But perhaps the most revealing metric of all? The moment Reese exited the game, her team's fortunes took a decisive turn for the better.
Well, Angel Reese, yesterday, for her unrivaled team, the Rose Basketball Club. Who picked these names in this league? God, dog, they're awful. She had her worst, what can be described as her worst professional.
Let us begin with the opening moments of the game, where the underlying issues surfaced almost instantaneously. Angel Reese, heralded as a future cornerstone of the WNBA, exhibited noticeable struggles from her very first possession. The initial double dribble violation was far more than a mere lapse in concentration. It was a glaring fundamental misstep that underscored broader concerns regarding her overall skill refinement, technical proficiency, and readiness for the professional stage.
8 minutes? 8 minutes? 8 GD minutes? 2 for 6 from the field. And it's good to see that field goal percentage is not getting any better.
What makes this particularly alarming is the broader context of the Unrivaled League itself. This is not the WNBA, where intricate defensive schemes and battle-tested veterans challenge even the most polished players. Instead, this is a 3-on-3 format, a structure deliberately crafted to showcase individual talent, maximize open floor opportunities, and create advantageous matchups for offensive players. In theory, such an environment should be a proving ground where a player of Reese's purported caliber not only excels but dominates. Yet, what unfolded on the court told an entirely different story. One sequence in particular demands closer examination, a fast break opportunity that should have been a routine highlight for any professional basketball player. Imagine this: an open court, no defenders in sight, and a seemingly effortless layup waiting to be converted. Yet, rather than seizing the moment, Reese made the baffling decision to forego the uncontested shot entirely. This was not merely a poor split-second choice. It was a telling moment that exposed a deeper lack of confidence in executing even the most fundamental aspects of the game. At this level of competition, passing up an open layup is not just rare, it's virtually unheard of. Speaking of the unprecedented, the foul situation warrants its own scrutiny. 4 fouls in just 8 minutes of play. This is not simply an issue of poor in-game discipline. It represents a fundamental collapse of basketball awareness and defensive composure. In a 3-on-3 setting, where defensive assignments are inherently more straightforward than in a traditional 5-on-5 system, managing to commit a foul every 2 minutes is nothing short of staggering. For context, even rookie WNBA players, adjusting to the heightened intensity of the professional game, typically manage to remain on the floor far longer without fouling out. Reese's inability to do so in a format specifically tailored for offensive prowess raises serious questions about her adaptability, decision-making, and overall preparedness for the elite levels of competition.
So while I get maybe September to October, even September to early November, you take a break, you relax, you chill, you get your body right. Of course, if you're injured and all that, that's different. But if you're not, and you're able to work on some skills,
the shooting statistics paint an equally troubling picture. Converting just 2 field goals on 6 attempts may not, at first glance, appear catastrophic, but a deeper analysis of shot selection exposes far more significant concerns. These were not heavily contested attempts, nor were they desperation heaves at the end of the shot clock. Rather, they were largely open, high-quality looks, created through the efforts of teammates, within a format specifically engineered to facilitate offensive success. The inability to capitalize on such ideal scoring opportunities raises serious questions about efficiency, shooting mechanics, and overall readiness for the professional stage. Perhaps even more revealing is the stark contrast in team performance when Reese was off the court. Enter Lexi Hull, an athlete with far less media hype and fanfare, who stepped in and delivered a masterclass in efficiency. With a composed, disciplined approach, Hull quietly amassed 19 points on an astonishing 8 of 11 shooting. This was not merely a strong individual performance. It was a textbook demonstration of what fundamentally sound, intelligent basketball looks like. Unlike those who seek to craft viral moments or curate social media narratives, Hull simply played the game the right way, executing with precision, making high IQ decisions, and proving that in a format designed to reward skill, discipline often outshines spectacle.
Double streak became a me show. The team disintegrated, right? Other talented players on that team got pushed aside, and it was done. One could argue their coach got fired over it.
This brings us to a pivotal discussion about the current state of women's basketball. The ever-widening chasm between social media-driven popularity and genuine on-court proficiency has never been more apparent. While Angel Reese has undeniably cultivated a formidable personal brand and amassed a dedicated following, her latest performance raises pressing concerns about the actual development of her foundational basketball skills. A closer examination of the defensive end only amplifies these concerns. In a 3-on-3 format, defensive responsibilities are inherently less complex than in traditional 5-on-5 basketball. With fewer players to account for, more open space, and simplified rotational schemes, the defensive demand should, in theory, be easier to navigate. Yet, Reese repeatedly found herself out of position, struggling to maintain proper defensive discipline without resorting to unnecessary fouling. This is not merely an issue of a single off night. It speaks to a deeper deficiency in fundamental principles, core basketball instincts that, at this stage of competition, should be second nature.
If those gym videos where she's shooting threes, this and that and the other, are not actually set up and actually directed content.
The stark contrast between Angel Reese and players like Caitlin Clark has become impossible to ignore. While Clark continues to showcase a complete offensive arsenal, effortlessly shooting from range, orchestrating plays for teammates, and maintaining impeccable game management, Reese's limitations are becoming increasingly evident under the scrutiny of professional-level competition. The WNBA commentators who once boldly proclaimed Reese as superior to Clark are now facing a significant credibility crisis, as the disparity in skill level is no longer a matter of debate, but of undeniable fact. One particularly revealing moment occurred in the second quarter when Reese attempted to generate her own offense off the dribble. This sequence laid bare the core deficiencies in her game: a high, unstable dribble that left her vulnerable to defensive pressure, inadequate footwork that hindered her ability to create separation, and, ultimately, a forced, low-percentage shot with little hope of finding the basket. These are not mere lapses in execution. They are symptomatic of deeper technical shortcomings that must be addressed if there is to be any legitimate hope of success at the WNBA level. Beyond individual struggles, the broader impact on team performance cannot be ignored. At its highest level, basketball is about generating advantages and maintaining floor spacing to optimize offensive efficiency. When Reese was on the court, the team's spacing suffered significantly. Without a reliable jump shot to stretch the floor and keep defenders engaged, she often congested driving lanes, making the team's offensive sets more predictable and easier to defend.